All right. Well, I decided to do my cardio after all, um, because or do it off stream because I couldn't get my Wi-Fi camera to work. I charged it the entire or a good portion of the time I was preparing lunch, and it just didn't want to turn on and sync with my phone, which it's required to do in order to work. Which is another pet peeve of mine, is how everything requires a freaking app on your phone. But it is what it is. Okay. Don't have a lot of time left today. Oh, I did AM. I don't know why, but this thing always like defaults to AM. Feel like when you pull this down, can you save this event update? I feel like when you pull this thing down here, if you're at 12:15 p.m., these should all be PM instead of AM. Obviously, it's rank ordering it by numerical value, but you shouldn't require me to scroll to like alter a time that's like close to where this is at. If anything, this thing should pop out to the left, and negative time should be up, positive time should be down, and I should be able to scroll from there if I need to, but have a selection of adjustments already like in line there instead of popping down and then having it numerically sorted that way. But they're probably vibe coding this thing, so I'm not gonna be too critical. So I did do my cardio, and I'll do this till 1:15, I think it was. 1:15 is it? No, 2:15. Oops. Hit cancel. Discard. Edit. 2:15 p.m. Okay. All right. Well, I feel somewhat accomplished. All right. So what are we up to? Well, we have our task list here. T4 done. T4 done again. T. So this one here, I can't do right now. Because it's charging still. So I'll say T. What are we doing here? So we got our 15 minutes of cardio done so far. Dating apps and brilliance. Let's do brilliance. And I got a little timer here I can start. I guess I'll do a review on functions. Okay. Which rule would produce these outputs from these inputs? I wonder if I was kicked into a lower tier. Let me pause this. Home. 22nd fell back into the titanium league. Dang it. Okay. Which rule could produce these outputs from these inputs? Wednesday. So it's -2, -2. Yeah. 2 days earlier. Which rule could produce these outputs? Cherry, Y, last letter. What is the output from the input breeze? So this is how many E's looks like? No. How many vowels? Two non-E's, 3 non-E's. Oh no, 2 E's here, 3 E's here, 4 E's here, 3. why the audio is not working on this. Which input would give the output 5? 2E's, 2E's, same thing. 5 would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That one, beekeeper. What is the output when the input is 6 p.m.? So 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. is plus 5. Plus 5. 9 p.m. 2 a.m. Plus 5 on 6 be 11 p.m. Plus 5. Plus 5. Plus 5. 3 a.m. minus 5 would be 10 p.m. So output of the input is 15. So 3, 2, it's multiple of 2, 30. Which input will produce output of 14? 3, 6, 5, so it's double again, 14 would be 7. Which will produce these outputs from these inputs? 6, 6, yep, this is how many 6s. Divide by 6. If you divide by 6 here, you get 1, 2, 3, 4. It's divide by 6. Divide by 3, you get 2. I guess it could also be remainder after dividing by 5. Wonder why this doesn't have any audio. Setup audio. Output devices. Let's try going to just like YouTube sound test.
This video contains flashes and moving images.
So it's definitely working. Something wrong with the app. I got a streak charge. Titanium League. Number 1. Okay, I guess it's because it's the start of the week. Alright, numeric rules. Which function could produce these outputs? Minus, or plus 2? Yeah, plus 2. We use fx to denote the output of function f when the input is x. Function rule such as add 2 can then be written as yep. Which input would produce the output 15. So this is a plus 2, still the same plus 2, so it'd be 13. Add input output pairs that satisfies this function. $15 and $17. What's gonna be add 9. We just go through these. So add 2, no. Add 3, no. 3 minus a negative 3 would be 3 plus 3. 0. 3 minus 0 would be 3. Or, yeah. 3 minus 2 would be 1. 3 minus 6 would be negative, yeah. So 8, 3 minus 8 would be 5, negative 5. An input output pair that satisfies this function. we need a relationship of 3 delta. So 4 and 7 would be 3, yeah. Oh no, we do -7, 10. So -7 would turn into 3 plus 7. G of x is a value the function g produces when the output is x. This notation often helps us write function rules more concisely. Great. Skill check. So you can inverse this by saying put a -1 on that side and then divide both sides by -2. Let me pause there for a second. Sorry, someone's messaging me. Okay, which input, let's resume. Which input will produce an output of -7? So -7 is equal to 1 minus 2x. So you subtract 1, so it'll be -8 minus 2 is equal to x. You divide by 2, so it'll be 4. Pew. I used algebra. Fill in the correct input-output pair. Okay. If I put in 1 here, it'd be 1 minus 2, which would be -1. Bam. I mean, this stuff is clearly like far below my abilities right now. But I feel like it builds on itself. So let's continue. What rule could produce these outputs? 3 is a -2. 2 to 5, definitely not -2. So it's a 2x plus 1. 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1. Double, then add 1. Which function expresses the rule? What rule could produce these outputs? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you take x, You add 2. X plus 2. Oh, that's my time here. We'll finish out this round here. X plus 2 minus 2? No, that'll be x plus 0. What's interesting is that, like, we're adding 0, we're adding 1, we're adding 2, 3, 4. So it's starting counting here, going up. I'm not going to look at these. But it's going to be x plus some number x plus 2, which would be 2x plus 2. That doesn't seem right. But if you have 2x here, negative 4 plus 2, yeah. 2x plus 2, yeah. 2x plus 2, 2x plus 2. Yeah, it's 2x. It's 2x plus 2. You double the input, and then you add 2. Or you can factor that into 2 times parentheses x plus 1. So if you add 1 and then double, it would be the same thing. All right. What function expresses the rule add 1 and then double? What rule could produce these outputs? So negative 2 to 4, 0 to 0, 1 to 1, 3 to 9. Interesting. Seems like a square. Yeah. Because 2, 0, 1. Yep. Square relationship. What function expresses the multiply by itself? X squared. Numerical functions are just rules applied to inputs to produce outputs. Skill check. What rule can produce these outputs? 0 goes to negative 6. 3 goes to 3. 4 goes to 6. 7 goes to 15. I don't want to look at these. I want to try to figure it out without looking at the multiple choice. Because that's the one thing I don't like about Brilliant is, like, they give you these multiple choice questions and you can just look at the answers, the 4 answers, and pick the one that makes sense, which isn't really reasoning. So what rule can produce these outputs? Subtract 6, but that doesn't work here. Something where if it's a 0, it's negative 6. 3, 4, and 7. Okay, I think 7 is going to be important here. So 7 is a 2x plus 1. There's a 2x minus 2. There's a, okay. Well, there could be any number of things here, so I'm gonna have to look at the answers here. Add 2, then triple. No. Subtract 2, then triple. Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. Alright, there we go. What rule could produce these outputs? Let's see. See if I can get it. Negative 6 is 0. So it's a 6, 3. Yeah. Okay, add 1 in the triple. No. Have and then add 3. No. Double. Then subtract 3. No. So add 6 works here. Add 6 does not work here. This is add 1, then triple. That would be massively negative. Have, then add 3. It would be negative 3, 0. Ah, that one works. Yep. 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 So it's going to be an X. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I thought that was a plus. Oh, well. Got my points. Let's go over here. Check our leaderboard score. We are 455. I'm happy with that. Cool. So that takes care of this. Spend 10 minutes each day on Brilliant. So I think I spent like 13 at least. Okay. That leaves some cardio, a focused work session. I'm gonna mark this as complete because we did it. We'll come back on tomorrow or this evening to finish that. We got more cardio here to do. One thing I do need to do is I need to get on and look at the HIIT schedule that he has set up for me. Let's go to my training app. Workout. No? Yeah, here it is. HIIT day 1 on Wednesdays. Assault bike, assault bike, assault bike. I do a warm up, which is 1 set. 15 minutes. Steady state warm up, comfortably nasal breathing. So I have difficulty with because my nostrils are always closed down. Okay. Week 1, start with 6 rounds. Add 1 extra round each week. Fuck, man. I think I'm going to need to set up another page for my cardio. Yeah, let's do that. How do I add a page here? Usually there's like a plus down here. Why isn't there a plus on this one? Oh well, I'll add it here. We'll call this rename. Can I rename? Yeah, there we go. Hits. And then we'll go to, what is this thing again? Tracker. Let's go to our hits. So we gotta figure out a way of logging this. So we're gonna have our dates. So this will be I can't do that. Alright, what is it? Wednesday will be 4:15. 4:15. $18. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do that. 4:18, 4:22, 4:25. It's 15, 18, 22, 25. I might just grab the values here. 29. Let's actually select everything, bring it in like that. Yeah. Oops. A little bit too on there. Okay, 29. 5.2. 5.6. 5.9, 5.13. All right. 5.16. 5.20. Oops. 5.23. 5.27. 5.30. 6.3. 6.6. 6.10. 6.13. 6.17. How come I can't paste that? Okay. 6. I can't even type it anymore. Okay, now I'm typing. 6.17. 6.20. 6.24. 6.27. Okay. So those are our dates. And we can do like a, oh, that's kind of gross how these things. Okay, that looks good. All right, and then up here, it's gonna be bold. Our background color is gonna be that blue. Is that the right blue? No, it's not the right blue. It's like a darker blue, like this one, with white color text. Can go here. Yeah, looks like that one. All right. So we have 5 men's steady state. And then week 1, start with 6 rounds. Add 1 round each week. So this will be do I want to do like separate rows for these? Fucking people keep on calling me. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's +1 each week. And this is a week pair here. I'm just gonna see if I can partition these off like this. I'll just do it like that. Boom, boom, sorry, boom, boom. Can I zoom in here? Easier to hit the target box here. H, J, oops. H, J, L. I guess those are. Can I fucking select this thing? Why can't I select that? Why? Alright, well, we'll do that, and then we'll reselect this thing. Alright. And then all of these, all the way over to here, can get deleted. Edit, delete. How do I delete? Right click, delete. Column. There we go. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy, or just say, yeah, copy this. 5 minutes steady state. Founds, rounds, unit. The difference between these two, though, is that, like, it's the number of rounds that I need to complete, but also the amount of time and the amount of rest. Let's see. And we're going to add one. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Fuck off. Chrome bullshit. There we go. The other thing I could just do is not try to mix them. like have two separate tables right next to each other with the dates kind of separate. That might work. And I can actually type in more details on the... Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to do a... Let's see, insert columns to right here. This will be, of course, filled with that and colored white, but doesn't matter. Oh, it's starting blue. This one? What blue is this? The darkest? No way. This one. Okay. So in here, I'm going to copy. Oh, I got to cut these guys over here. These guys got to get cut over here. 18th, 25th. There we go. So we're gonna need our calendar. Let's send this over to 5 for now. Grab the calendar. And grab the month. So 4/15/22. The fuck? Where did my 22 go? Okay, insert columns left for 22. Everything's fucked up now. Alright. So we got 15, 22, 29. What the fuck is going on here? There's no way this is the way it was before. Edit redo. So 18 and 25 were pulled out there. $18, $25. So that should leave 4 too. If I grab these and move them over here. Why did that change to 429? Something's really strange about that. I think it's a bug. So 18. Okay, that one went. 25. So you get 25, 29, 25, 29. 2, 6, 2, 6. I gotta do this one at a time. Alright, let's go back here. So we got 15, 22, 29, 6, 13, 20, 27, 10, 17, 24, 27. Okay. Just confirm that these are right. So let's go to today. We got 15, 22, 29, 6. 13, 20, 27, 3, 10, 17, 24. There we go. Then over here, 18. 18, 25, 2, 9. 18, 25, 2, 9. 16, 23, 30. 6, 13, 20, 27. Okay, looks right to me. So now you can insert rows here. Insert, so it's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I can only get to 16 on here, so I can delete these. Paste that there. And then I'm going to have to insert rest in between these. Steady state warm up. 10 rounds. Oh no, it's day 2, day 1. 6 rounds, add 1 round each week. 15 seconds at max effort. I really don't want to say round 1. So we got a 5-minute steady state on the sides. We got to add in our rest now. So insert rows below rest. Two men rest. Okay, so insert rows above. What if I do like, maybe I do this way. Don't need that one. Insert rows above or below. Did I hit below? Okay. And then we can cut these, paste them here. Yoink. But I like all these quests, these are goals. So this is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each one of these weeks I get 7, 8, all the way down to here. 17. Oh, and there's another day here. Okay, makes sense. Alright. So let's fix up some of this. Strip away all that. We'll do that. There we go. Same thing here. Strip away everything, do that. There we go. So R1 is 30 seconds max effort. This will be 5M steady state. 2-minute rest is actually a 30-second set rest. Rest. These things, you don't need to record anything. Alright, and then here, so 5 minutes steady state, get rid of that one for now. R1 is 30 seconds rest. Let's make this a little bit longer. So he said 10. Did we confirm the dates? I think we're good on those. Yeah, 10 rounds, add 1 each week. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that'd be 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then a 5-minute steady state here. So obviously all the rest will be grayed out. Let's try that again. All right. And then let's number these appropriately instead of just having R1. Oops. 3. Motherfucker. You can go up. Okay. So we hit enter up, right, 7. Enter up, right, 8. 9. Enter up, right, 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. Oops. 17. Oops. 18. 20. I don't think we want a 30-second rest after that. I think we go straight into... Oh, interesting. We lost that one. Yeah, I don't think we do a rest. So that one can go. And then we start at 10, which would be here, and then no rest down to here. So then it'll be gray. There we go. You can blow away all these. Which I think is probably easiest just to scroll down here like that. Delete. And then this will have to extend out along with that one. Alright, looks pretty good. I might have to move this somewhere else though. Can I do share of a single page in here, or is it the whole thing? It's the whole thing, yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out here, close that out, and create a new doc here. So I'm going to go drive.proton.me, or docs maybe, docs.proton.me. And I'm going to create a new spreadsheet called hit tracker, high intensity interval training tracker. And then can I just drag that? No, it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna copy this page, paste it in here. That didn't work. Okay, so we go back here, we hit refresh. We're gonna delete this one. It's hit tracker, that didn't work. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this one, which isn't an option there, so I have to go File, and I've seen it, make a copy. Here we go. And then this will be hit tracker, delete. Yes, goals, delete, yes. There we go. And then we can delete the hit here. Delete, yes. Alright, so that means that this thing needs to have its own launcher. So if you go under local share applications, cp tracker to hit.desktop, open that up. Anywhere it says tracker, say hit. That we don't need. In here, we need to paste this guy. Hit. There we go. And then I'll be sharing this, create a public link. Can I just add, I can add someone here. But I'll just create a public link. And then I need to put this on my jump drive. Here. So I'll vim up, or this will be under run, C, media, C0, what do we want to call this? Hit link, .txt. Okay. Let's close that out. Check that. Close out of this. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Go back over here. Launch our hit tracker. This will be something I'll need to pull up when I'm doing it and log it as I go on my laptop probably. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like not gonna be able to keep up with everything. All right, so T5 done. So I'm gonna switch over to my other PC and send this to my coach. The fuck? The fuck is this? Try directory selection. I sourced bash rc. Is it this dot thing? No. Okay. Not sure what's going on there. Why does that pop? I don't even understand, man. What is going on here? PS tree, please. Quit. So where are we at here? We got some system D. Alacrity would be the thing here, right? Where's alacrity? Might. Here we go. Start hyperlands, alacrity, PS tree. Some fucking Ruby thing is running. Oh god, I'm beginning to regret DHH. Using DHH's distro here. Okay. TL. Which TL? I definitely have it under my bash or config shell tasks. Sorry, task. Oh, it's TN, TL. There we go. Okay. T. Six. I need to start this. There we go. Okay. I think I want to extend this thing too to be. Is it under there? No, it's under config shell task. I think I want this to be like 3. That feels better. Okay, cool. Okay, I need to do that, so let's go back over to here. I might need to wire that to get it there on time. Alright, no big deal. Yeah, usually I'm studying computer stuff. This book is what I'm currently reading, which is Learning Linux Binary Analysis. But I gotta do taxes this week. I got 2 days to finish shit, so I'm doing that now and also doing some quarterly planning. It's not usually as boring, but can't be helped. Notebook LM, speed track stuff. Let me pull it up here. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me switch back over to here. Notebook LM, I've never even heard of that. Oh, it's like a Google Notebooks type thing, kind of like Wolfram Notebooks or IPython, Jupyter Notebooks. Second Brain, yeah, I did like Second Brain stuff for like a hot minute, like a while ago. I didn't really get a lot of value out of it though, but that might have just been me at the time. What is PKM? I never heard of that. Let's see, Second Brain. Personal knowledge management. Yeah, I guess I'm currently using like my Git repos for that. Sorry, learn log. There you go. So this is my main Git repo, and then this like breaks down to like all the things that I've been working on. I need to actually mark some of these as completed. So yeah, I mean, I just do markdown files and like Git repos right now. That's kind of what I'm doing. It's probably not the best thing, but I don't know. I tried using Obsidian for a while, and the value just wasn't there over just doing Markdown files on my own. So yeah, I don't know. Is there any personal knowledge management tools you would recommend? You can upload any PDF or doc into it, and then only think in that scope. Looks good. Yeah. I'm open to giving stuff another shot, but the bullet journal, I've heard of that before. Let's see. Your research and thinking partner grounded in the information you trust, built with the latest Gemini models. It sounds pretty legit. I use Gemini occasionally. I usually use, on this stream, I usually use ChatGPT just because I don't really use a lot of AI. Because most of the stream that I do, I'm like trying to learn new things. And I think AI can help with learning, but not if you're just like using like a tool that solves your problems for you, which a lot of the AIs like Claude Code and stuff like that, open code, kind of just do everything for you. Let's see, open your sources, upload PDF websites, YouTube videos, audio files. YouTube videos would be cool. Google Docs, Google Slides, and more, and Notebook LM will summarize them and make interesting connections between topics, all powered by the latest version of Gemini's multi. This is actually the first like tool in this space of like personal knowledge management that is like super interesting. Let me give it a shot. I don't have a Google account on this. I use Proton for all my stream stuff. I don't even think I have a Google account. Well, I guess I'll try that out later then. But I will give that a shot. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll even add it to my task manager here. So task, add, check out, notebook, study editors, flashcard generation is good, quiz generation is, you know, I've used AI for quiz generation before, and that was a mistake. Because when it does hallucinate, it's teaching you in the wrong direction, you know? It's kind of like if you ever have like a problem set in a book that you're doing, and the solution to the problem that's in the answer key is wrong. It kind of like throws you off, and you go off in a different direction thinking that you're wrong when you're actually right, or vice versa, you're right when you're actually wrong. Audio interaction is good. Any URL you can add to it. I'm learning fast with this tool. This needs Google account. This one only thinks with your PDF files, so the chance is low. And it comes with flashcard UI, quiz UI, Quizzy UI. Yeah, I mean, it sounds cool. I would definitely give it a shot. Alright, so I got my tax transfer initiated, T6 done. So I need to schedule my hit session, T5 start. So these are like my quarterly goals and the schedule I have for them. The green ones here are like recurring, like daily or weekly type goals. And then these are like more task focused type goals. And then whether it's like a life goal or a work goal. And then the one I completed already on the second week of the quarter is the CSAPP stuff, which you reminded me to jump into my learn log, and we'll go in here. Courses, I need to mark these as complete. Oops. this will be, I guess, do that. I need to resume this, but I'll do that in a couple weeks. System programmer rules. I'm just like learning for the sake of learning. I'm not really like applying for any rules just yet, but I will be applying probably for inference operations in the not too distant future. Share the repo, also add distributed systems maybe. Okay. Learn log. Let me pull up the repo here and I'll share it for you. Learn log. So this is the main repo that I'm like, yeah, AI inference mostly. Basically, like I want to start building skills in parallel computing, and then see if I can find roles that are around operating inference at scale. So a company like Anthropic or Modular or even OpenAI, but I'm not super like in need of work right now. So I'm just kind of like doing my own thing. This this repo that I pasted, that's pretty much like my objectives for the year, my learning objectives. You mentioned distributed systems. I did spend some time with distributed systems in my career. One thing I would really want to learn really deeply is the Raft consensus algorithm. I spent some time learning about it, but there's so much that you can learn, and there's so many like things that you can read about it, but I just want to read the white paper. I think there's like a white paper somewhere, and then maybe play around with a few of the implementations. I know HashiCorp has an implementation. Who else? etcd has an implementation. I guess that's Red Hat. But yeah, there's like a few. I guess these are all the implementations here, right? So my main language is Go. So yeah, HashiCorp Raft. Here we go. I'll put that on the list for sure. It's currently not in my main kind of like focus area, but let's bring it up as the Raft paper. There we go. So this would be under papers. Papers. And this is in search of an understandable consensus algorithm. Because Paxos was like too difficult, I guess. That's why I say it's understandable. Paxos was not understandable. I need to also mark my books here. This will be completed here. Yeah. Is there anything else in distributed systems you recommend diving into? DDIA? Oh yeah, it's a book that I have coming up here. Yeah, that is... Oh, I don't have it on the schedule. It did arrive in the mail though, because the volume 2 came out recently. So I definitely have it. I don't know what happened to it though. What did I do with it? Oh yeah, here it is. I consider this more of like an interview prep book for systems design. I think that's why it's not on my list, because I'm not like focused on interview prep right now. But I did buy it. I do have a physical copy of it, the second edition. You write notes from the book you read? I don't really do a lot of note taking. I do some note taking, but most of my notes repos are like sample code that like things that occur to me. Like if we just go to like a books computer systems notes repo here, like some of this stuff will be like, you know, like assembly stuff or like C stuff that I just wanted to like mess around with. And then if there's problem sets, like usually if I'm reading a book, I'll do the problems as I'm going, just for like learning purposes, and I'll record those in the notes. It's not really notes though. Like some people, they like read text and they take notes that kind of like reformulates what they're reading in their own words. And I've done some of that in the past, but I find the value I get out of that has not really been high. So I haven't really been doing a lot of it. Check SDFC and GitHub. SDFC. Oh yeah, it's just a Design Fight Club. Yeah, I haven't really spent much time on their YouTube or their repo here, but I have this book. What else do I have? The Database Internals book. I have the Systems Design Interview book, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So these two here. I think that's it. Oh, I have the SRE book. I have the SRE book and the workbook. I've read probably like 60% of the SRE book. I guess it's applied problems category. Yeah, so and then concepts, and then secondary tangential material. Everyone recommends this data intensive applications book. Quite small and quick read. Understanding, where's that at? I didn't see that one. This one here, Understanding Distributed Systems. Oh wow, this is intense. This guy here, Understanding Distributed Systems. Yeah, okay. I'll put that on my list. Thank you so much. Let's pull it from this one. Sometimes I worry that these marketing sites will just like the websites will go away and then I'll have dead links. But oh, is it? Oh, you can buy. Where do you buy it from? Oh, it's so they're pushing you towards Amazon, so I'm just gonna use the Amazon link. Try not to do Amazon if I can avoid it. Just to respect like the author's revenue. This would be on books. As you can tell, I have a big long list of things here. I should include things like a little note here, short or quick read. What'd you say? We'll say, how many pages is it? Usually I can do like 250 pages in a week pretty easily. Yeah, so it's probably like a week of reading. We'll say relatively small. Let me load up my Excalibur. Because you're right, I should have like a distributed systems section here. I might not get around to this stuff this year, but I do want to have it on my radar. understanding distributed systems, and it was 344. Text is easy to read, easy to understand. For math, I know Math Academy, but I don't get that much time spent on math. Yeah. I started reading this book on linear algebra probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and I made a good amount of progress on it. Um, so I might just pick up where I left off on this. Once I feel like I want to take on more math and linear algebra stuff. Linear algebra seems to be pretty applicable to a lot of the AI and, um, I mean, computing in general. So yeah, I kind of want to get a little bit. I got to the point where I was like grappling with like eigenvectors and eigenvalues and matrix, like what do they call it, change of basis, and like some of those concepts, and then I just kind of like gave up on it. But a lot of the fundamentals of linear algebra, like systems equations and everything up from that, I got pretty comfortable with. Let's see. Let's do paper. What was this thing called again? Papers. In search of understandable consensus algorithm. Alright, does that look unbalanced? That looks pretty good. I have this tentative kind of like scheduler here. It's pretty relaxed. Like I gave myself a lot of time for these things. So yeah, hopefully, I mean, like this computer systems, a programmer's perspective book, I finished 2 weeks ahead of schedule. So I imagine some of these, based on my estimates for like reading time and everything, I could probably fit them into like a shorter period of time. And if that's the case, then I'll be able to do more this year. But I didn't want to like, my tendency is to like overcommit and like underestimate how much effort it's going to take to do things. So I'm trying to like lean a little bit in the other direction. So yeah, hopefully I do have more time this year to get more stuff in. Do you use Discord? Yeah, I have a link to Discord. It's just me and this other dude. We just hang out in there. My channel doesn't get a lot of traffic here, so we usually just use it to chat about stuff. He's security dude, Neuronath. Let me send you the invite link. Actually, it should be on my Twitch. Pull it up here. Yeah, here it is. Copy link address. Bam. Yeah, if you want to pop in there and hang out. I don't really post a lot in there. It's just for me to like chat with Neuronath, and I was kind of starting to post in there more often, but yeah, I really don't do like social media too well. So yeah, I haven't really been keeping up on it. But yeah, it is good to communicate off stream with people. All right, let me save this. Save to file here. And then I need to hit save there, replace, and then delete all this, and that. And then I'll do export image, dark mode, SVG, 1 dark, replace, non-dark mode, SVG, 1 light, replace. Oops. What happened to my thing? Oh, that's a bummer. Well, let's go ahead and open from here. delete all this. That's the first bug I ever seen in Excalidraw. Excalidraw is pretty good. Too dark, replace. Too light, replace. Okay, kill that. Write that out. Okay, what do we do here? We get CI, add distributed systems, and what else? Get status, get diff rx. Oops. So we marked our stuff as completed. It's mostly distributed systems that I added. Okay. Let's go back here. Complete CSAPP. Oh yeah, yeah. If you're doing a book club, feel free to send it. I like reading technical books, so if you're doing a technical book club, I would definitely be interested in that. Let me close down on some of this. Boom, boom, boom. Close out of that. All right. Do some GC here. Kill that. There we go. Okay. T. All right. I need to schedule my hit sessions. So I'm doing 2 hit sessions a week now. I have this. Let's go here. Drive. Proton me. I have this spreadsheet for my hit. Oops. Actually, I can close out all this. I need to add it to my calendar. So basically every Wednesday, when do I want to do my hit? Probably for lunch. So let me fix this to be, what's the custom? Oh, it's every day but Friday. Okay, we'll take Wednesday off here. Oh, I didn't want to delete. Okay, good. Dude. Alright, let's take Wednesday off. There we go. The book club is run by the author of Database Internal. Oh, is that, I've seen some guy on YouTube reading database internals. Is that dude? Or am I just making that up? He doesn't run a YouTube. I did see a guy on YouTube reading that book though. I only listened to like maybe 5 minutes of his live stream. But he keeps on popping up on my feed. Yeah, this dude here, Ben Dickin. I don't know if you know him, but he's been going. I mean, I saw his first stream, and I've been keeping tabs on it a little bit. But yeah, he's got like a number of.
Hello. Welcome.
He's up to chapter 12. His rate of reading though is a lot slower than what I do. Like I try to read when I'm actually being super focused. I try to read like 50 to sometimes upwards of like 120 pages of technical material a day. Like probably the least I've done recently has been like 30 pages a day. But usually it's like 50 to 100. But he spends like a long time reading this book. It's not a big book. It's like many pages is it? Yeah, it's only 370. You can't whisper me on Twitch. Okay. Yeah, if you want to send it to me on Discord. I wonder if I can get a link to my Discord. Yeah, if you want to join, just can you paste it in the chat, like a link to the book club, or is it a Discord? Yeah, if you can paste it in the chat, I'll pull it up. But if not, if it's something else, you can just send it to me on Discord. All right. I guess this is another book that I want to read at some point. So it'd be a good idea to book club it. Alex Petrov. He looks familiar. I don't do LinkedIn. I don't do Twitter either. I actually can't visit Twitter. I have it blocked on my network. He has a really nice website. He's really nice. He has a good sense of taste and design, you could tell. Oh, he's a keyboard nerd. That's cool. When computers refuse to listen to me, I like to go outside and unwind. Living right next to the Alps allows me to be able to jump on the train, hike up the mountain, and enjoy the view. Yeah, I mean, I live in the Rockies for the same reason. And, I mean, the Alps are way more dramatic mountains than the Rockies, but it is so nice that, like, I'm like 5 minutes away from a mountain. Okay, cool. That looks really sexy. I mean, I don't even know how Discord works, but I think if you go to the Discord link, does that not give you the name? It should just be like it should just be like that. That's what it says on the Discord app. But if not, if you click on that link, it should send you to my name. All right, let's back out of this. Boom, 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 boom. So I was scheduling. That's what I was doing. Update recurring event. This events? Sure. Let's refresh. I thought I removed. We'll do edit here. Custom. Remove Wednesday. Done. Save. This and future events. All right, and then I'm just gonna add a lunch here, and we'll have that repeat every Wednesday. Every week on Wednesday. The hit, how long is this going to take? So 15 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 minutes times, we'll just say 3 minutes per set, times potentially 16 sets. It's going to get annoying. Can I do parentheses? Yeah, cool. So we have 16 sets times 15 seconds. And then we also have 2 minute rest intervals. So 16. So that'd be 60, 120, 135. And then plus 10 times 60. And this whole thing divided by 60 is how many minutes? No way, 46 minutes? I guess that's right, yeah. So it's gonna be 45 minutes. And then when I do this longer one on the weekend, it's gonna be up to 20. Oops. Up to 20. And then these are 30 seconds plus 30, so that'd be just 20. And then 10, so that's gonna be 30. Okay. So it's less time but more effort. Alright, so I'm gonna need at least an hour, I would say, for cardio. So I'll start this at 2. And then 3, 4, 5. All right. Oh shit, I messed it up. I gotta go custom here. Actually, you know what? I'll just discard this, because this thing is repeated. Custom, I need to remove it. So we go here, edit, custom, remove Wednesday, this in future, hits, which is going to be dark purple, repeats every Wednesday. Every week on Wednesday. And then this will be the stream. Okay. So that covers the Wednesday session, but then I need to put it on the calendar for here. So this one is, all right, Thursday we can take off here. It's like a assault bike. That's for glycemic control. So I eat a lot of carbs usually with my meals. And there's this like concept of nutrition partitioning, where like if you eat a lot of carbs, typically you're going to have an insulin response in order to shuttle the glucose into your cells. And insulin largely goes to your liver. There's like a portal vein that takes it from the pancreas into the liver, and that'll increase your adipose tissue and help the liver get fatty. usually, which is a bad thing. But your liver is the main store for like nutrients, like glucose, glycogen, and fatty acids. But if the insulin escapes the liver, it'll go wherever your bloodstream takes it. And if you're just sitting on the couch after a meal, it's going to go to adipose tissue like subcutaneous or visceral fat. And so if you want to avoid getting fat, it's generally a good idea to do exercise around, your meals. So that's why I do my cardio during my meals, just to, have a little bit better glycemic response. My insulin doesn't go as high, and my glucose doesn't go as high, because they kind of go in lockstep. And the insulin that I do release around my meals, since my blood supply is going to my skeletal muscles, it'll increase the nutrients that are going to my muscles instead of fat. I am not a diabetic, but I do micromanage my glucose. I used to wear a CGM. I wore a CGM for about 5 years, just to keep track and like micromanage my glucose. I'm scared now. Why are you scared? Oh, do you just like eat a meal and sit down and take a nap? I think everyone does that from time to time, but it's good to get in the habit of like at least doing like a walk after your meals. Like whenever I go out and I eat with friends, I always like tell them in advance, like after we're done eating here, I'm just going to go for a walk and you're welcome to join me. But all my friends know, like, when Jason eats, after he eats, he goes for a walk. So yeah, most people don't do anything for their health and fitness, especially in the Western world. It's just like, I take it back. That's not necessarily true. We do have an epidemic of diabetes, though, and metabolic disorders in this country and in the West in general. Overconsumption of calories is like a big issue, but also just a lack of exercise. We're all kind of like sedentary. We sit at our desks all day. We don't get out and like do stuff physically. So yeah, it's not good. But if you want to stave off metabolic disease, one of the best things that you can do for your body is to get exercise. All right, so I think I was taking this one out. Yeah, so I'll save that. Can I do all events? No. Let me just escape this. Okay, so I got that. Saturday, I think I got to go to Thursday and say custom Saturday done, save this in future events, update, and then I'll take out that one. Yeah. So here I'm going to do a lunch. Can I repeat this same schedule for Friday? We'll do Saturday. Wednesday and Saturday. We'll do all events. And then we'll do the same thing here. All right. And then this one, which one is this one on? Custom. Okay, so I have to take that one out. So I'll go Thursday here. Custom. Take Saturday out. Save. This in future events. Afternoon. Stream. Repeats every Saturday. Okay. So if you go over here. All right. So now I have a dedicated hour for high intensity interval training on these 2 days. I usually do a hike on Friday just to get outdoors. And then the rest of the time is doing cardio on my Echo bike. I got one of these guys. let's see, Rogue Echo Bike. I love this thing. It's pretty inexpensive. You know, I think when I bought it, it was even like cheaper than this. It's like maybe like $800. It's probably just, you know, inflation and oil costs for shipping and stuff. But I mean, it's under $1,000. It's pretty inexpensive for Rogue. Most of Rogue's equipment is like super pricey. You do treadmill? Yeah, I got a treadmill downstairs as well. I just burned out on it. Like, I could not use it anymore. Whereas this, you can like switch from like upper body to lower body, because like you're pushing and pulling on these handles as you pedal. So you can shift the resistance from your upper body to your lower body. So if I'm really lazy, I'll just hop on and I'll do lower body. I'll just pedal with my legs. If I want to get my heart rate up like really high, then I'll do my upper body as well. But it's generally just more fun than, and it's less impact too. The other problem I have with treadmills, you can do a lot worse. You know, like running on pavement is probably the worst for running. But like treadmills in general, you're impacting your joints in a repetitive, stressful motion, and that's just accumulates over time. The damage to your joints. Alternative days, yeah. So right now I'm doing pretty much every lunch and dinner. I'm doing 15 minutes of cardio on the Assault bike. And then basically, like, I started bulking maybe about 3 weeks ago, and my coach, like, he's the one that told me to start bulking, and he gave me the macronutrients and everything. But he's been watching my fasted glucose. Like, I usually report that to him every morning or every other morning, and he wants me to start doing more cardio. So that's why I added the HIIT stuff in today. So pretty much every day I'm doing some form of cardio. So 15-minute sessions here around my meals. And then I get resistance training 4 days a week in the gym. And then I usually do a hike Friday morning just to get outdoors. And then I got my HIIT. So all in all, like, it's a good amount of exercise. Like, everything that's dark purple here is exercise time. All right, so I can mark this as done. Now that I've done all that, T5 done. I guess I need to mess with my Wi-Fi camera. See if I can get it to work. How did I make the HIIT Excel? How do I read it? So my coach sent me the program earlier this morning that he wants me to follow. And it's in this app that is a piece of garbage. Oh, he probably wants me to log it in the app. Delete. Okay. Anyways, so the program is 5 minutes of steady state cardio, and then you go into round 1, which is 15 seconds of max effort. So you're going super high intensity, maximum effort, like 99% of your like output, and then you rest for 2 minutes. And he wants me to get off of the bike and just like get my heart rate down, get my breathing rate down, and then do that again, 15 seconds max effort, and then get my heart rate down. And these are huge rests, but by the time you're on round 6, it's gonna be like, you know, you're not gonna be able to get your heart rate down on the rest interval. So yeah, every week, so these are the dates up here. Every week I have to add an extra round to the program here, and then I have a 5 minute steady state kind of cool down period. where I just do my normal steady state cardio. And then, so that's every Wednesday. These are all the Wednesday sessions. And then these are the Saturday sessions, which are way harder. So it starts off the same 5 minute steady state. And then I go into round one, which is 30 seconds max effort, which is twice the duration of the Wednesday session. And then the worst part is, like, the doubling the time interval is like not the worst part. The worst part is a 30-second rest. Like, you only get 30 seconds rest in between your rounds. So that means that, like, my heart is going to be pumping, like, my chest is going to be exploding by the end of this. And then the same thing where every week I have to add an extra round, and then I get 5 minute steady state cooldown. How does it help? Well, my fasted glucose has been creeping up. So like I said, every other morning, usually I measure my fasted glucose, and it started before the bulk. It started at around 87, which is a reasonably healthy fasted glucose level. And since then, since I've been adding more carbs into my diet, my fasted glucose has gotten up to like 98. And we had a few readings that were like 102, 104, so in the 3 digits. And anytime I'm in the 3 digits for my fasted glucose, I start to like get concerned. And I was expressing this concern to him, and he wanted to hold off on adding more cardio for glycemic control, because basically, like, if we're doing by introducing more carbs is increasing my fasted glucose, then they're not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be going into like building lean body mass, ideally, and fueling my workouts. But apparently it's going into raising my blood glucose. And so he's suggesting these HIIT sessions to bring my blood glucose down back into a healthy range. So we will see if it has an effect. I actually have to email him now because I just realized something that he might want me to do here. I've never checked my glucose. What is your goal by controlling your glucose? So glucose is one of the first indicators of metabolic disease. And metabolic disease feeds into all of the other things that are going to kill you. So heart disease, like dementia, like what else? Like cognitive decline in general, like cognitive health is affected by metabolic disease. What else? Cancer, that's another one, another big one. So basically all these things that are like diseases that are caused by accumulation of waste products and epigenetic drift and like all these different like metabolic processes failing are due to poor metabolic health. In large part. Obviously, there's like, I mean, health is like a very nuanced and broad subject, but if you can help yourself by like improving your metabolic health, all of these other things downstream of that kind of fall in line. But I mean, if you're like blasting, alcohol every night and smoking a pack of cigarettes and like doing all these other things, like maybe you should focus on improving that first, then optimizing your metabolic health. But I would say metabolic health is a significant thing to focus on if you're concerned about your overall health. To check glucose, you have to get blood outright. You have a machine. So there's two methods of. Let me switch back to my other machine here. There's two methods of measuring glucose. I don't know why this is like messed up. Okay. So there's something called CGMs, continuous glucose monitoring. These you don't have to draw any blood. So the one that I used and the one that I recommend, well, I guess I've used a few different ones, but like the Freestyle Libre and the Dexcom, these are pretty good. They're just these little things. They're little. They have a PCB, and they have a little sensor, a filament that goes into your skin. Yeah, this thing here. And so there's like a spring-loaded applicator that you put on your tricep. Like in between your tricep and your delt, you just stick it in there, and it measures the amount of glucose in the interstitial tissue, like below your skin. So it's not even reading glucose from your blood. It's reading it from interstitial tissue, and that'll give you a real-time measurements. Like every 5 minutes, you get a data point. The other alternative to that is finger pricking, which is what most people do because it's inexpensive. So finger pricking, I mean, I do it literally on the same finger every morning. And, it's like, once you do it a couple times, like it's like no big deal. Like some people get weirded out about it initially, but like you just do a little finger, there's a little lance, this thing here. You just put a fresh lance into the little thing contraption, and it's spring loaded, and it shoots the lance into your finger, and then you draw a thing of blood, and then you wipe it away. You wipe the first droplet away because it has like a bunch of like cells and stuff that you don't want to confuse the reading, and then you draw a second drop, and then you measure that. It takes like 2 minutes. This is the one that I have. And I started doing this thing. I stopped using CGMs maybe about 4 months ago, mainly because like I didn't feel like I needed it anymore because my glucose was like so good. Like I was consistently in the 80s as fasted, and I generally have a good idea of like how different carbohydrates affect my glucose levels. So yeah, the CGM, it's more costly. It's like a couple $100 a month, whereas the finger pricking is like, I mean, it's like $23 for the machine, and then the strips are maybe like a couple dollars. It's like nothing. I don't smoke or alcohol. You have that now in you? No, I don't do the CGM right now. I stopped doing it about 4 months ago. The main reason why I stopped is because the fucking app would just like send off alarms like in the middle of the night when I roll onto the device. And I learned how to like program the alarms so that they didn't do that. It was like really difficult to do, but I figured it out. But then like I noticed that my behavior changed significantly based on my glycemic response. Like if I got up above like 130 on a meal, I would get on the treadmill or do like some cycling to bring my glucose back down. And that's just like kind of like crazy that I would do that, because everyone has a glycemic response where they go up. And I felt like while it was probably good for my overall health, it wasn't good for my overall health objectives, which is to gain lean body mass. Like if every time you have a glucose spike, you get on the treadmill to reduce it, you're not going to have an insulin release as strong as you would if you just let the glucose like kind of linger in your blood for like 5-10 minutes. And because I wasn't having the insulin releases, like you don't grow, your skeletal muscles don't grow without insulin. Like if you're trying to achieve like muscle hypertrophy and skeletal muscle, you need to have insulin. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So my behavior was kind of like cutting against my health objectives because I had so much information about my glucose. I'd probably try adding them back in at some point, but it's just not, I don't want to look at it right now. It's too much data, and the behaviors it was driving in me were against my goals. I have fat on my stomach. I'm scared. Yeah. I mean, the easiest way to lose fat is just to lower your calories and get some exercise. The hard thing is to gain muscle while you lose fat. That's like body recomposition, which is like incredibly hard. So you have to go through these like bulking phases where you gain weight, and ideally you're gaining mostly lean tissue and not fat. And then you have to go through these cutting phases where you lose weight, and ideally you're losing more fat than you're losing muscle. And you have to go back and forth, seesaw back and forth. And I'm probably on like my 30th bulk cut phase. Something like that. Probably more than that. But yeah, if you just want to lose fat, it's it's difficult in that you have to put forth some effort, but like it's achievable. Like it's not your body, when you reduce your calories, your total calories, and you increase your exercise, even just slightly, do some resistance training, nothing insane. Like people can have such dramatic impacts on their overall like health. There's this company that one of my friends works at, Function Health. They measure like biomarkers, and I mean it's like $400 a year, I think. But even if you just do the lab work that you get through your primary care physician, like get some lab work done before you start dieting and exercise, and then get the lab work done like 6 months out after consistently reducing your calories and increasing your exercise slightly. Like you don't want to do anything dramatic. And then check your biomarkers, and you'll be surprised how much your body can heal. I take a shitload of supplements. I actually have a spreadsheet with my supplements. It's just not on this streaming machine. But I take a lot of stuff. Creatine is like probably the big one that most people are aware of. But I take this thing called citrus bergamot. I take this for cholesterol. I take this stuff called berberine. So these are all like kind of natural things. This is like a plant that helps reduce or helps improve your glycemic response. I also take this thing called ALA, which is, I actually don't know what it stands for. Alpha lipoic acid. So that's also used for glycemic control. These are all, like non-prescription supplements. I take a multivitamin. I take alpha GPC, which is like a cognitive compound, the choline compound. I take vitamin D, vitamin D3, K2, MK7. So this is a form of D3, or this is a form of vitamin D that's most healthy for you cardiovascularly. Like if you don't pair D3 with K, then you can have situations where the vitamin D pushes the calcium out of your bones and into your arteries, where it develops atherosclerotic plaques. So you want to avoid that. So if you take a vitamin D supplement, make sure it's D3, K2, and then MK7 is the type of K that I take. So that's one that is highly recommended. Like measuring your vitamin D levels is like so important. Magnesium glycinate, that's another one that I take before bedtime. What else do I take? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Oh, like vitamin C, vitamin B complex. I take those after my workouts. I have a number of prescriptions, prescription hormones that I'm on, like DHEA, pregnenolone. I take like a combination. This you can get over the counter, but I get a prescription just to make sure it's like pharmaceutical grade. What else? Thyroid. I take natural desiccated thyroid. NDT. So this is like porcine thyroid that they grind up into a powder. It's like desiccated thyroid, and then you get the T3 from that. So take that. You can't. I don't think you can get that over the counter. I think that's a prescription only. I do take a thyroid complex to help boost my natural production of T3. What else? There's a lot of shit. Is it too late for you? No, man. It's never too late for you. I mean, if you're like 98 years old and on your deathbed, yeah, maybe you don't go out and start exercising. But it sounds like you're not elderly. Speaking of elderly, like as you age, one of the things that resistance training is really good for is maintaining your bone mineral density. So as you age, the minerals in your bones literally leak out into your bloodstream and like get excreted. And that's not good. That's how people break bones when they get older. Usually like when older people fall down and they break a hip, it wasn't the fall that took them out. It was the fact that they had such like shitty bones. Their bone mineral density was so low. So resistance training helps with that. I have a friend. She is, I think, 80 years old now. Yeah. And she I met her in the gym. She does deadlifts. She does a lot of the compound movements. She weighs maybe like 100 pounds. She's so like skinny, but she's getting after it because she knows that like as you age, you want to be able to survive these falls. Then you got to have strong bones. She's pretty strong for her weight class. I have a different schedule for each supplement. It's all on a spreadsheet, but like I said, I don't have it on this machine. Lifting weights, yeah. Another form of resistance training is calisthenics. It's not going to be as stimulating for things like bone mineral density. Like you really need to get loads into your bones for that. But you can get body weight loads, and that usually body weight is like sufficient for a lot of people to see dramatic improvements. This guy Chris Heria, he has a He has a channel that I follow.
aka Cookie Fit SC, hybrid elite athlete.
What? Yo, let's go. Is on it? That's chilling, right? Interesting.
So he's a calisthenics guy, but you can see he's in the gym here doing like, you know, cable stuff. He also does, because you can't get a lot of load on calisthenics, he does like weighted stuff. Like he'll have like a weight vest. I actually have the weight vest that he sells on his website. But he wears the weight vest, and that like allows you to progressively overload the calisthenics movements.
Also help if you're closing in together. There's like a million things. It's like
30 minutes, 5 kilogram dumbbells, body workout. Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing, for sure. I saw something recently where it was like some type of study, and this just popped in my feed. But basically, they tracked this longitudinal study of people and their exercise habits and the impacts on their overall longevity. And it turns out, like, if you do a lot of heavy cardiovascular work, it actually doesn't add to your longevity at all. But what does add to your longevity is resistance training. So yeah, I'm 40 now, so I started working out when I was 32. So you're talking about being too late for you, bro. Like, you're 30. Like, I don't think it's too late for you. Yeah, 30 is a good age to start getting into fitness. It's something that, like, once you start getting enjoyment out of exercise, it starts becoming less of a chore and more something that you look forward to. And that's where you start making really good gains. But yeah, this dude, like, he's a good guy to
that's
follow.
why it takes years to master this stuff. How hard was that on a scale of 1 to 10?
Loud.
I feel like mentally it's harder than it is physically.
Okay, mentally, how hard was it?
10.
Physically, how hard was it?
Let's
It
just
was,
go
it was
here.
quite.
Now we're working that small range of motion that's actually manageable. Over time, that's all gonna add together instead of doing it all at once.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get the attributes from all of them, and that little pump range of motion is gonna get bigger and bigger until you're doing like it all the way, bro. Yeah. And remember, counterbalance with your weight more on this side. Yeah, stay there. Now tiny pumps. Yeah, bro, stay flat. What?
He's
Let's
like, no,
go.
can't do it.
That was sick, dude. I didn't
This guy's insane. Some of the things he does on his channel are crazy.
do them all back to back.
I think, is this a planche? I don't know.
Because I guess there'd be people who could do the technically hardest stuff, but then there'd be other people who do it like it's an art.
And this is all body weight too. Like you don't have to buy any dumbbells or anything. You can just use your own body weight to train. Okay, cool. All right, let's go over to here. I need a break here for dinner, so I'll do that now. I think when I get back on tonight, I might just play some WoW. It depends how many streams I have in front of me, because I got 1, 2 done today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I can't play WoW. That wouldn't be good for my commitment to getting 18 streams in a week. So I'll probably log in and do some reading on this book, The Soul of a New Machine by Tracy Kidder. It was one that I started a couple weeks ago, and it's kind of casual. I might do that, or I might just read more on the Learning Linux Binary Analysis book. So I left off in the section talking about readelf, relocatable code injection based binary patching, elf dynamic linking, that sort of thing. And then they talk about the PLT and the GOT, the procedure link table and the global offset table. So yeah, lots of cool ELF stuff. So I'll decide whenever I get back on which one I'm going to do, but I'm going to take a break here for dinner and cardio. And I'll be on in an hour from now to read one of those books. Cool. It was nice chat with you. What is it? Chandu16. Yeah, I'll see you on Discord if I don't see you here on Twitch in the future. Cool.